Tyson Fury fight that will take place on the 26th of July at the Phones for You Arena in Manchester. As you're aware, the fight between Derek and Tyson is for the WBO, elimination for the WBO Heavyweight Championship as well, European, vacant British titles. Self-explanatory. The winner of that fight hopefully fights Klitschko this year. The undercard is a quality undercard. We've got the vacant middleweight championship in Europe, and we're hoping that will be a final eliminator as well for the WBO title between Billy Joe Saunders, who's undefeated, sits to my right, 19-0, the British and Commonwealth champion, against Emmanuel Blandamura from Rome, Italy, former EU champion, who's 22-0. So two undefeated fighters there. Again, a quality fight, and the winner of that will fight Quinlan hopefully sometime this year for the WBO world title. So everything to go for there for Bill, and we all know that Blandamura is not a bad fighter, so it's a tough fight for him, one that I believe that he can win and take him on to the next stage of his career. Also on the undercard, we've got the light middleweight championship of Great Britain between Liam Smith, who's the British champion, against Navid Masuri from Rotherham, England. And we also have the British and Commonwealth Super Featherweight Championship, Liam Walsh versus Gary Sykes, again a cracking contest, and one that I'm certainly looking forward to. We also got on the card the vacant Central Area Light Welterweight Championship between Jake Catterall, 8-0, against Nathan Bruff, who's 11-0. It's a great fight up there in the north, real competitive fight, and again, I'm sure the fans will enjoy it. We've got Ronnie Heffron on the bill. He's in a 10-round light middleweight contest against Liam Williams. Again, that is a 50-50 fight. And then on the card, we've got Chris Eubanks Jr. against opponent to be named, and Eddie Chambers, who's based himself here in England, and another heavyweight title fight. Anyway, we've got Bill here. Bill's had a few problems with injuries of recent. It takes a while to get back in the ring, but he's worked very hard now, and hand is all okay. And as I say, we're going out to the next stage of his development. And I do believe that if he comes through this fight, I think that he has to beat the WBO champion. So that's what the little carrot on the end of the stick is there for him to come through. I'm sure you've got questions to ask, so if you want to ask them, please feel free to do so.
Billy, the next fight is always the most important one, but this really is the case for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, if I win this, that's my dream. I can make my dream come true. I can't train any harder than what I'm doing. I've got a dietitian in, and things are moving good, and it's just onwards and upwards from there. I mean, he's a good fighter, this Italian, but at the end of the day, if I can't beat him, I'm not going to be world champion, am I? So I'm here to beat him, and that's 100% what I'm going to do. How
much do you know about him? Have you studied him on the tape?
I know he's boxed once outside of Italy, and that was in Germany. He got a win out there. I see it. He boxed well, he done well, he dug in deep, but digging in deep ain't going to be good enough for him to get some ring in me.
You're frustrated over the last 12 months. It's gone for you, what with injuries and probably not getting out as much as you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's work, isn't it? And I'm used to in the gym training, active, fighting, and when you've got injury, you've got a cast on your hand, and you're restricted from doing things that you love doing. And it's all right, it gets you down sometimes, but you've got to get on with it. Try to get it repaired the best you can, and crack on with it. Life goes on, but I'm here today.
The last time we saw you, were about to start hitting the bag, and I think maybe start sparring. Have you done that yet? And
I've been doing plenty of pad work, bags, punching to a full extent with it. So that's all I'm waiting for now, is just get sparring. That starts next week, and hopefully, but all so far it's all good. It's all good. I mean, I've been punching, not holding back on the pads and bags, and that, and it's a lot better. It's probably really thanks to the doctor who done it. I think he's fixed it. Done.
Was the first session kind of mentally tough to actually just start doing it and letting it
go? I mean, when you first put the glove on, you always got that in your head that you don't want to, nag it and reoccur another injury. But thank God I've been taking nice and slow. Jimmy's eased in with it, and I'm back fit punching again.
How do you feel now that you've had dietary advice as part of your training as well?
It's helped me a lot, to be honest, because I think that well, it is. I mean, 70% is your diet, and I've got a real good dietitian now, and he's really. To be honest with you, I'm eating more than what I did, but you know, it's all fresher and cleaner, and you know, at certain times and that, and you know, it's really helping me a lot.
Has that been an eye-opener? Does it make you look back?
Well, it is. I mean, listen, if everybody was struggling to make weight in the boxing game, and there was all not eating and not drinking, we'll all be on the level playing field, wouldn't we? But everyone now's got dietitians and that, so if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. And I think you're going to see a lot different with Joe Saunders this year.
And also, you know, you've got Tyson and Bill, they're both travellers. There's a little race there who's going to win or fight for the world title out of the two. So it's a little bit of competition.
I was speaking to him the other day, matter of fact, about it. We was having a little bit of a joke about it. But, you know, it is. We are on for it. Who can get it first, you know, because, you know, like I say, if I win it today and he wins it tomorrow, I'm still going to be the first traveller to win a world title. And, you know, we was having a little bit of banter about it the other day and that. But, you know, it's good if we can both get on and do it. I think that, you know, who knows, maybe if we both come for a fight, so we never know, we might be on the same show fighting for it, you know, on the same night. It'd be good, wouldn't it?
Did you think it was that with Derek?
Sorry?
Did you think we'll be that with Derek?
Listen, it's an interesting fight, isn't it? Because, you know, when they boxed last, Derek wasn't at his best. And he come in, what did he come in, 18 stone, I think, something like that. I mean, you know, that's not Derek. Now he's lost weight, he's more inside, he's explosive. And I think that's the reason why the fight's selling so well, because, you know, Tyson's a character, as we know, but, you know, if there's anyone to beat Tyson, Derek, you know, could do it. But you've got to go with the favourite, and I think Tyson's pretty good at his job. He's nice and, you know, he's big, he's got the reach advantage and that, so it's going to be an interesting fight now, I know that. Tyson has to come in on his A game.
What will it do to travellers boxing to actually have a world champion?
It's not what it do to just only travellers, everybody. I mean, but you know, from our background, you get a lot of good fighters was, you know, just about on the brink of doing something good, and then, you know, they get married at 17 and 16, and they leave the game, and, you know, they go out to work, you know, and they go out to work, and, you know, they're abroad and they haven't got time to train. But, you know, thank God, you know, I've had my dad and I've stuck with it, and, you know, I'm getting my rewards now.
Do you think being from a traveller society makes it harder to be successful?
No, I think, you know, whatever race or whatever you are, it's just, you know, we're all human beings, aren't we? You know, it all depends how hard you want to work. If you want to work hard and get it, you can get it, you know. We're all on the, like I say, we're all on the same playing field.
Frank, I have to mention the E word. Where does Eubank fit into all of this, and how far down the line?
Well, he's supposed to be here this morning, and they're here, or they're on their way, or we just had a bit of trouble trying to get through to him just now, so I don't know what's going on. Where does he fit into it? He fits into, I suppose, you know, Bill's obviously well ahead of him as far as winning the British Commonwealth, and hopefully he wins this one. But down the road, that's a big fight. I know there's no love lost. What's it you said the other day? So you get flogged with chains.
Yeah. Listen, he is what he is, isn't he? He's just we're different. We're made of different stuff. He's just. I don't rate him personally. No disrespect. I don't ever run any fights down because I know what it takes to get in the ring. But people compare him with me. He's a joke. Like walking about the ring and not moving from one spot. I'd smash him to pieces. Honestly, really would.
Do you think it's slightly distasteful the way that he acts in the ring?
Listen, it worked for his dad, and his dad trying to put the label on him. But his dad was a 10 times better fighter than him. You know, at 15 fights, he's still fighting bums out of a pub. I could walk to a pub, pull someone out, and, you know, do a better fight than him. I really honestly could. But, you know, it is what if he wants to pad his record, and, you know, to meet someone half decent and gets laid on the canvas out cold, it's down to himself, isn't it?
Fact, given what we saw at Wembley and what can be generated between British fighters, and who's sitting on maybe the next great one.
Yeah, I just think, you know, British boxing's on such a high. It was a fabulous night at Wembley. You know, it's great for British boxing. It's great for boxing to be on the back pages of newspapers. And all those guys like Patrick Collins of this world who keep telling us that it's a dying sport. It's not. There's an audience out there. They want to see big fights. And, you know, that was a testament to that on Saturday. But there's, you know, we've had big crowds out for fights over the years, and they will come out for a big, you know, for the right type of contest. And what we're all trying to do is to put together meaningful matches that you know that are, as far as the public is concerned, are 50-50 fights. Bill's fight is a 50-50 fight. You know, Tyson Fury, Derek Chisora is a 50-50 fight. and other ones on the card. And for that, you expect fans to turn out for them. So yeah, it's great. I mean, I thought Saturday was great for the game. Yeah, it wasn't the fight wasn't the same as the last fight. It was nowhere near like the first fight, but explosive ending. But the fans turned out, and that to me shows you that the fans want to see the sport.
On Box Nation, do you have any say in how he's moved along opponents?
Well, I mean, it's his dad's obviously his dad's a very significant part of his career. And at the end of the day, he's had 15 fights now. I'm sure he'll be stepping up, fighting in 10 rounders and so forth soon. He has to do that.
Well, he's obviously miles behind. Billy.
Well, Bill, as I say, Bill's got the British and Commonwealth title. He's won them. He's defended. Bill would be further on if it weren't for the injuries now. Bill would be. He may have even already fought for the world title. He might be sitting here as world champion. But over the years, it's been unfortunate for him. He had a couple of operations on his hand. He's been out. I bet he's lost at least a year and a half of his career. And despite that, he is where he is. So, it tells you the type of fighter that Bill is and the type of fighter he can be.
So do you think this is something that this is going to simmer, and do you think you need a world title to?
Do you know what? Fights can happen out of nothing. We've seen that happen. George Groves and Carl Frock happened again because of George Groves. Because George Groves forced the issue. George Groves went to the IBF. He petitioned them for a rematch. If he hadn't have done that, I don't think Carl Frock would have fought him. We said he would. So anything can happen. That little spark causes a fight that suddenly captures the public imagination, and away you go. And I think that it's a natural fight. It is a natural fight. You hear what Bill said. I know that things have been said from the Eubanks camp. Down the road, and hopefully not too far down the road, that's a big fight. I'm sure Bill's not worried about it.
Frank, you hope to cash in on maybe the casual fan that actually went to Wembley and now might look for another card to go and see.
Well, of course, that's what we want to do. You've got a hardcore of fans who go to certain events, and obviously our event is not in London, it's in Manchester, but of course you want to get those other fans involved and keep them in. A lot of circumstances as well. There was no Premier League on Saturday. That was all those things happened to it. There was a good build up to it. I'm hoping we'll get the same thing, for our show up in Manchester, and more, because out of these fights, as I say, if the bad guys win, if the Brits win, and certainly a Brit will win out Chisora, or a Brit and an Irishman out Chisora and Fury. But whoever the winners are of these fights, that fight is going on to fight for the world title. They're going to fight for the world title. So that can only be great for the game, and you're going to have a live opponent going in with Klitschko. No one can say that's not going to be the case. The winner of Chisora and Fury make a viable opponent for Klitschko. And let's get it right, Klitschko's not fought a viable opponent for God knows how long. Pulev was supposed to fight Derek Chisora and pulled out of the fight, wouldn't fight him, pulled out in the first place.
You mentioned that Billy's fight and Chisora and Fury's fight was a 50-50 fight. What do you believe is going to tip the scale? What's going to make the difference to result in a winner?
Well, on the night?
Yes.
The man who wants it the most. The desire and the want to win. They both... Tyson Fury is a proud man. Derek Chisora certainly is a proud man. And Derek Chisora has turned his life around as far as boxing is concerned. In all aspects of it. Maturity, his dietary requirements, how he trains, all that's been changed around. And for me, he's a different person. And whatever the result is, that's a success story. Boxing, he's managed to be able to do that. Tyson Fury is a guy that's as proud as anything. He does what he thinks he's the best man on the planet. So has all the ingredients of a tremendous fight.
Do you think this will really kind of capture the imagination now that boxing grows out?
Yeah, I mean, when we made the fight, it's a good heavyweight fight. Whatever weight, that is a better heavyweight fight than I can think of anything else that's on at the moment. I mean, or maybe the Stavern fight a few weeks ago. Was a cracker. That was a good fight. There's no doubt about that. They had a tremendous battle. But this, for me, is the best heavyweight fight out there. I mean, I'd much rather be watching this than watching Klitschko fight someone. I think a fight fan would. That these guys, they don't have to fight each other. They could have stayed apart. They could have both bided their time to get into the #1 slot. what they're doing, they're short circuiting this. Let's get to number one. If I'm in the number one position, I'm mandatory contender. I haven't got to give options away. I will fight Klitschko. He can't duck me. If he ducks me, just keeps fighting bums, then obviously the fans will see that he's not for real anymore. And he has to fight one of these. And I think that the business will call for that.
What do you think of Peter Quinn?
Yeah, he's a good fighter. You know, he's proved that he's world champion. But out the Golovkin, Sergio Martinez, you know, the other world champions, you know, apart from Felix Sturm, he's there to be beat, isn't he? I mean, he's strong, good puncher, but he can definitely be outboxed and outfoxed. And you know, I think I would love the opportunity. That's the reason why I'm sitting at this table today. You know.
Actually, Craig, to both of you, actually, the result of the weekend between Sturm and Solomon, does that slightly change your options?
Well, you know, it's nice to have options, whatever way you do. Again, what we're trying to do is force the issue. Quinlan is a good fighter. He's got power in his punches. He can bang. I think Bill's got better boxing abilities than him, and I think that Bill, once he gets himself absolutely right, I think you'll see he'll start stopping people. So for me, that's the direction I'd like to go with him. I think that's a good fight for him. And I'd want to get the fight here. We'll do our best and move heaven and earth to get it there.
Billy, you fought in Manchester before, haven't you?
Yeah, I boxed Matt Scriven there a few years back, and his second pro fight.
You knocked him out early on. Are you hoping to get the sort of Mancunian fans on your side for sure, versus style on the night?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of fans, to be honest with you. I've got a lot of fans in Manchester. I mean, a lot of mates of mine are Tyson's mates as well. So, you know, he's supported me, my support there as well. But yeah, it's a good place to box. I mean, I've never boxed at this arena, so you know, it'd be a bit new, but I've heard it's an unbelievable arena. So it'd be a very good night of boxing. I think there'll be a lot of Manchester fans coming out that night. Mostly all Manchester fans, I believe.
Billy, you've come back from your injuries, you've changed your diet. How have you mentally prepared, or how are you mentally preparing for the fight?
I think this, you know, sitting down and when like eating more and drinking more, the clean stuff, you're thinking, well, I'm losing weight, but I'm eating and drinking more. I think that's mentally pulled me on again. You know, I think that's going to make me more stronger into the later rounds and that. And you know, because when I used to make weight, I used to do it my way, I done it for the England camp and that. You know, I used to eat right and drink, but it was not the right way. This is the right way I'm doing it now, and I need this to move on to the next level of my career. And that alone has given me confidence and a big boost.
And it's not just about just eating right for the fight. You've got to eat right all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's the in-betweens the worry. It's something pile on the pounds, and you're not training for the fight. You're training to lose the weight. You know, Bill looks in good shape now. He's got about 8 weeks to go. 7 weeks to go. So he's got plenty of time to get himself down nicely, be strong at the weight, which is really important. And more important about this is, you know, if you're not carrying, I don't know about the word crap on your body, you're carrying, you know, you're eating the right foods and so forth, the right diet. A lot of other things come with that. Speed comes with that. Your mind feels better. You don't, I mean, you know yourself, if you're a bit heavy, you don't feel so good, but if you get yourself right, your whole mental aspect, everything about you makes you brings you on another 20%. And I don't think Bill's actually got to that yet. You know, he might like me saying this, his diet is what it is. You know, he likes his fry-ups, I know that, he likes his junk food, and that's not a good combination. Same as what happened with Derek Chisora. You know, he was a biscuit eating champion of the UK. He could have been the world champion biscuit eating. He stopped all that now and he's turned himself around.